So 2026 is here. 2026 is here. Happy New Year's, everybody. Now, I know everybody's going to start the 2026 is here, new year, new me stuff and everything. And while I know we always do that, I want to challenge everybody to do something different this year, right? Especially in the entertainment community, people that's entertainers. I want to challenge us in 2026, instead of cutting people off, learning how to renegotiate what our friendship should look like, right? Because most people think growth means you outgrew a person or something like that. And I don't necessarily look at it like that. I think what really happens is growth changes the terms of the relationships, and nobody ever sits down to renegotiate what the shit looks like. You know what I'm saying? So growth isn't really about abandoning somebody. It's just the access limits, the responsibility enhances, and things change. You know what I mean? People's life change. And a lot of time relationships are introduced to us due to proximity. Like you went to school with somebody, or y'all had a job together, or whatever it may be. Or let's take y'all used to live next door to each other or whatever. And y'all grew up on this same block. And then eventually one person moves, and then they start creating friends 40 minutes away. And they start going to a different gym and a different studio or whatever it may be, and meeting new people. Now when y'all link up, they bringing this new person around, and you may be looking like, who the fuck is this? You know what I mean? I don't know him, but this person's life has grown into a new place to where he's meeting new friends, and the silence that they didn't have to communicate, it kind of like allow people to create narratives in their head of what they think is going on. So people start assuming stuff. So people start saying you changed instead of just saying, I don't know where I fit in your new life, or how do we renegotiate that, right? And I noticed that, especially in our community, in the Black community, a lot of times we don't have the honest conversations with ourselves when one person is growing, because sometimes we're dependent on that person, or somebody could be dependent on the person that's growing, and that growth exposes your dependency. And then you secretly start hating the fact that you depend on this person. Now you start resenting them for that. And it's not fair to that person, right? Not fair to yourself. So I want to say in 2026, instead of giving up on people or cutting people off or saying F the world, right? How about we try to grow? How about we try to grow with some of our relationships and renegotiate what the terms look like? You know what I'm saying? So what should it look like reframing your friendship, right? Having honest conversations about, bro, I don't have the same time that I once had. I'm not the same person. You know what I'm saying? The distance is different. You know what I mean? You're going to start creating boundaries, but just because I'm not around as much and we don't talk as much don't mean I don't love you the same. I just got different things going on. So I don't have time to just pick up the phone and talk for 3 hours about the Lakers game last night. I'm actually making content or in a meeting. So both sides have to value what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? And both sides have to take accountability. One has to understand that this person is growing and he got stuff going on, and that shouldn't be a reflection of my downfall. It should be, okay, how can I get something going for myself to help, bro? So instead of looking at it like, oh, you changed and you think you better than me now, you should look at it like, well, how can I assist in this new role you playing so we could grow together and remain to keep our friendship intact? And I think a lot of us in our community don't know how to do that because of pride, ego, all kind of different shit. We don't know how to just have an honest conversation and say, hey, man, I feel out of place, or I feel like I don't belong, or I feel like I'm not contributing. What can I do to make sure I'm not being a burden in our relationship? And it goes both ways, because the person who may be growing, you got to be able to see that. You know what I mean? You got to be able to identify that and see that this person is making an attempt to try to help you. Now, if somebody's just expecting you to take care of them, we not taking care of grown men in 2026. You know what I'm saying? But if someone's been there with you and they're looking to grow and want to be a part of what it is you doing, and they're actually admitting in conversation, I need help understanding my role in your new life, you have a responsibility now to show them what that looks like. You can't just tell them to figure it out, right? So I want to encourage all of us in 2026, man, instead of cutting everybody off, cutting our relationships off. Let's figure out how to renegotiate what our relationships look like so we can grow together.